Hey, I've had a request at one point in time to show people some projects and how I do them. Not that I know how to do, maybe it's my way of doing it, let's put it that way. And so what I do is, the first thing I do is I tape out all the edges. A lot of people, these professionals, cut the difference between the ceiling and the wall, but I like to use the blue tape, and I find it just makes a perfect edge, which that's what I'm looking for. So in the areas over the window, I brush that on. Usually I use a 3-inch brush to do areas like this, and when I'm just cutting trimming in the corners and so forth, I use a 1.5 to 2-inch brush. Usually I prefer Purdy brushes, P-U-R-D-Y, and they're available at Home Depot and Sherwin-Williams. This color, the wall color, is called Ancient Marble. We've used it before. It's really a nice. It's really a nice color. But like I say, I use blue tape on all the edges to protect the trim. I paint the trim first, and then the woodwork first, and then I tape that, because I find the woodwork, usually the paint, if you use a satin, it's a little more durable than the wall paint, because I like to use flat when I'm painting walls. Flat is so much more forgiving and shows less of the imperfections. So I paint all the woodwork first. Actually, this door, all it has is a primer on it, but I have to put another finish coat of white. And I like to use satin on the trim, or low luster. And as you can see, I have a blue tape with everything. And this blue tape is really very good product, because it doesn't, most of the time, it will not peel off the paint. It just sticks, makes it, what I do is I use my finger to close the seam. So for instance, when I'm closing the seam, and let's say this is the edge, I run my finger down. Let's see if I can keep up with it. Anyway, yeah, this is, and then I cut in the corners. Usually I'll cut in this wall being the wall that is visible when you come in the door. I'll cut that in first, and then I'll cut the other wall in second. Sometimes I do it one side at a time and work around the room so that I have a dry surface. Okay, so that's a 3-minute video that shows you, and then I can roll this room out. I use a very high nap. I used to use pure lamb's wool, but now they're not available, at least at Sherwin-Williams. But I use a high nap because it puts a certain stipple on the wall. I call it stipple, which is it gives it a finish that isn't perfectly smooth. And again, I find that more forgiving, especially in a house like this. This house built in 1955. It could have 5 coats of paint on it, but it had a dark green on it, and I had to use a primer on it. I use multi-purpose primer from Sherwin-Williams. I find it, there's a spot I missed. Luckily I haven't cleaned the brush yet, so I gotta hit that spot again. So anyway, that's it, and hope this is informative. And like I say, this old chandelier, I left it, and I just dropped the top and brush around the top, around the outlet, and then I cut in pretty close with the roller when I'm doing the ceiling. Okay, hope this was informative.